Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be checking out some very cool battles featuring a 3200s ELO trainer absolutely destroying the competition with a Great League ESCAVALIER. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, so many thanks for the battle submission. Now for the team, this trainer is running a Sableye on the lead, Pelipper as the save switch, and ESCAV as the closer, and is able to get some epic victories with it. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out ESCAVALIER in action in the Great League. Hopping into the first match, picking up a slightly negative lead, Sableye into wall rain. Even with the Icicle Spear nerf, Sableye still does struggle in this matchup because it does get significantly outpaced. Walrein farms up quite a lot of energy. They're going to fire off the Icicle Spear. Sableye tanks it, has built up past the return, and is going for the foul play. Foul play, gets a shield from the Walrein. Walrein is going to be firing off another Icicle Spear. Sableye does need to respect this damage. Sableye commits the shield, going to farm up, and going to go for another foul play, again trying to bait a shield off the Walrein. Walrein is going to commit both shields, and a beautiful catch onto ESCAVALIER. Very nicely done. Icicle Spear not going to do a whole lot. Opponent is going to respond with their own Sableye. Sableye is going to go for the foul play. This would be taking out the ESCAV, so an immediate shield from ESCAVALIER. ESCAV is going to farm up quite a bit and go for the Mega Horn on the CMP tie. This is going to hit for some massive neutral damage as it's able to take down the Sableye. Opponent doesn't really want to bring back in the Walrein here because Walrein does not have a comfortable matchup. They bring in Defense Deoxys and they are so weak to ESCAV. Mega Horn rocks the Deoxys and Sableye is going to finish it off before it's even able to reach a move. Foul play is going to be taking care of the Deoxys. Opponent brings back in the Walrein. Walrein going for the farm down. They're able to get there, but at this point, Pelipper is going to be able to close out this match. Going to be waiting the timer, bringing in the Pelipper. Not going to be able to catch, but a catch is not needed as the opponent concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, picking up a very tough lead, Sableye into Diggersby. Diggersby comfortably beats Sableye in even shielding situations, so things off to a pretty rough start. Staying in with the Sableye, going to be firing off the foul play. Foul play, deals some solid chip damage, farming up, and a beautiful catch onto the Pelipper. Is it the Earthquake? Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. Opponent is going to respond with Frostlass. Frostlass does get outpaced by Pelipper, however. Pelipper is going to be able to fire off the Weather Ball. Weather Ball deals some solid chip damage onto the Frostlass. Frostlass overfarms, going to be firing off the Avalanche, a shield from the Pelipper. These wing attacks are adding up quite a bit, and is now actually able to get the Frostlass into the red health. Pelipper is going to be firing off another Weather Ball, able to grab a shield from the Frostlass. Frostlass fires off a move, but I believe they should be in farm down range here for the Sableye before they're able to reach their next Avalanche. Sableye able to get the farm down. That is quite nice. Opponent more than likely going to be bringing back in the Diggersby since the Diggersby is still very healthy. Going to be building up past the return and going for the foul play. This foul play is going to do some solid chip, grabs a shield from the opponent, switches in ESCAVALIER, and in the back it is Skarmory, and this is a bit awkward for ESCAV. Opponent is going to fire off a Sky Attack. Sky Attack is not going to be enough to KO here. ESCAV able to hang on and reach the Drill Run. This is single resisted damage, but Skarmory not the tankiest ever. ESCAV able to reach the second Drill Run just before Skarmory takes it out. This is going to put it into farm down range, and now Sableye should be able to reach the double foul plays needed to take out the Diggersby. This is going to be foul play number 1. This will do some solid damage onto the Diggersby. Diggersby is going to fire off a move, but at this point, Sableye is in control, shielding a fire punch, able to get to the foul play. Foul play will be taking out the Diggersby, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Sableye into Frostlass. This is a pretty nice lead. Opponent is actually staying in here, which means they very well could be weak to Sableye somewhere in the back. Frostlass does win CMP, so he's just going to go for the extra Shadow Claw there. Shields up the Avalanche, and he can farm up to the back-to-back foul plays and fire off a move just before they reach their second Avalanche, wanting to make sure that if they're going to be trying to force both shields, that he can at least force one shield in return. They're going to fire off the Avalanche. He will double shield, fully farm down and leave with a massive amount of energy on his Sableye. Opponent brings in Diggersby, and honestly, it may be worth trying to save the Sableye since it looks like they're weak to it in the back. Going to be farming up with the Sableye, goes for a catch on a Pelipper, Diggersby holds onto their energy, and they bring in Defense Deoxys, so they are weak to Sableye in the back. Unfortunately, Thunderbolt will be lethal here, so Pelipper is going to fire off the Weather Ball just to try and get some chip damage before it gets taken out. Deoxys is actually running Rock Slide instead, and Rock Slide, only single super effective, is not enough to one-shot. Pelipper firing off another Weather Ball going to get them low. Deoxys is going to fire off a move. At this point, that's fine. This just sets up farm for the Sableye. Opponent actually undercharges the Psycho Boost because they do not want their Deoxys to be farmed. Weather Ball is able to take out Deoxys and an immediate switch into the ESCAVALIER. Fire Punch hits for double super effective damage, but the opponent is actually going to go for an Earthquake. They're going to have to fire off a Fire Punch here. It does take 2 moves to KO anyway, but a definite misplay there by the opponent, going for that Earthquake instead of double Fire Punch. In comes Sableye. Sableye has so much energy stored, firing off the Foul Play. Foul Play gets the shield. Sableye, oh no, the game is lagging. Not now. Able to reach the Foul Play, thank goodness. That is going to be taken care of the Diggersby and securing the win. Hopping into the next match, picking up a very tough lead, Sableye into Mandibuzz. Definitely not what you're hoping to see. He is going to save switch into Pelipper. Mandibuzz is going to stay in here and get some chip damage. Unfortunately, Pelipper not as tanky as Mandibuzz, so this Foul Play is going to hurt. Mandibuzz continuing to stay in. Pelipper going straight for the Hurricane, trying to land a big move. Hurricane is able to connect, and that does some nice damage. Mandibuzz firing off another Foul Play. This will get the Pelipper very low, but it's not going to be enough to KO. Pelipper able to fire off a Weather Ball, but the opponent catches onto their own ESCAVALIER. So the battle of ESCAVALIERs has commenced. He's going to bring in his Sableye. These Shadow Claws adding up quite a bit. Opponent tries to go for CMP, but again, he is going to go for the extra. Shields up the Drill Run, going to overfarm quite a bit here, go for the farm down, and is able to get there. That is quite nice. Leaves with a massive amount of energy, and we know that Mandibuzz is pretty low in the back. In comes Mandibuzz. At this point, he can just go for Foul Plays. Foul Play is going to land. In comes a ESCAVALIER, and Escav is going to be able to soak that damage. A beautiful catch. We'll have to see what the opponent has in the back, and they have a Shadow Nidoqueen. They're just going straight for the Poison Fang farm down here. They fire off the Poison Fang. Escav not going to be shielding that. Escav tries to go for CMP, but Nidoqueen is going to go for the extra. Drill Run will, of course, be guaranteeing a shield here. Opponent is going to fire off another Poison Fang. Tough decision to make. He's going to commit the shield because he wants to guarantee that final shield from Nidoqueen. That way, he can KO using the energy from Sableye. In comes Sableye, going straight for the Foul Play. From this range, Foul Play should be lethal, taking out the Shadow Queen. In comes the Mandibuzz, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a pretty tough lead, Sableye into Shadow Abomasnow. Shadow Abomasnow just hits incredibly hard, which makes this matchup pretty awkward. Sableye is going to strike first, going for the Foul Play and grabbing a shield. The save switch into Pelipper, and the opponent responds with Lantern. It is a Water Gun Lantern, but this is still a thoroughly miserable matchup for Pelipper. Pelipper going for the Hurricane. Hurricane able to land, but unfortunately, Lantern is able to resist all of Pelipper's charge moves, so Pelipper is in a really tough spot here. Pelipper is going to commit the shield on the Thunderbolt, continuing to farm up, and going for another Hurricane. This Hurricane is going to be getting that Lantern quite low. Hurricane gets it low, but Lantern able to hang on, and they're going to be able to take out the Pelipper. Honestly, from this range, Surf plus some Water Guns is going to be able to do it. In comes Sableye. Sableye looking for the farm down, looking to switch into the ESCAVALIER. Escav is going to be met with Medicham in the back, and this is unfortunately looking like a very tough game to win. Firing off the Megahorn. Megahorn gets the Medicham extremely low. Medicham continuing to farm up. They do have quite a lot of energy here. They're going to fire off a move. It's the Psychic that KOs. In comes Sableye. Sableye leaves with energy, but this Abomasnow is just absolutely loaded. Sableye is going to fire off the Foul Play. Foul Play gets the shield. At this point, you have to hope that a Weather Ball doesn't KO. Opponent does go for the Energy Ball, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a dream lead, Sableye into Medicham. Opponent will need to immediately save switch out of here. In comes Galarian Stunfisk, and that's going to be met with a Escavalier. Escav, farming up quite a bit of energy. G-Fist does have enough for the Earthquake here. Escav respects it with a shield, but gets baited with a Rock Slide. Escav should be able to farm up to the back-to-back drill runs and win CMP over the G-Fisk. This way, if the opponent wants to grab a second shield, which they do, they're going to have to give up a shield of their own. Does he shield? He does, and he's able to correctly shield the Quake. That's massive. He can now safely farm down. This is only a Rock Slide, and Escav is going to be able to tank the Rock Slide, since it's not necessarily as strong of a move as Earthquake. In comes Medicham. He's going for the Drill Run, hoping that he's going to be able to reach a second move here. Drill Run, able to land. He pivots back into Sableye, and it's a Diggersby in the back. And oh my goodness, this opponent is about to be absolutely shredded by the Pelipper in the back. Diggersby commits the shield. They're going to farm up a ton of energy and then launch the Earthquake. Diggersby does need an Earthquake and a Fire Punch to KO Sableye, so they are going to go for the Earthquake first. Sableye is going to fire off the Foul Play. May as well get some damage here while you still can. That will allow Diggersby to overfarm and then go for the Fire Punch. Fire Punch will KO, but now it's all up to Pelipper to close in the endgame. Brings in Escav and makes a beautiful catch onto the Pelipper. Oh my goodness. And he now has the Drill Run stored. Opponent brings in Medicham. Pelipper is able to reach the Weather Ball. This is going to do some solid neutral damage, getting the Medicham very low. Medicham is going to be able to reach a move. The question is, can Pelipper hold on? Psychic gets the Pelipper low. Pelipper able to get the farm down, barely hanging on. Pelipper able to reach the Weather Ball. This is going to do significant damage onto that Diggersby. And from here, the Drill Run is loaded, and Escav will be able to win the game. Fire Punch takes out the Pelipper, but Escav has the Drill Run loaded. Drill Run will be taken care of the Diggersby, and that is a good game. Hopping to the final match, picking up a fairly neutral lead, Sableye into Swampert. Ideally, of course, you would want the Pelipper on the Swampert later in the game, but this matchup definitely isn't bad. Swampert does build up to the Earthquake, decision time. Sableye calls the bait, and it's just the Hydro. Sableye will fire their move immediately after, because if they farmed up one more Shadow Claw, then Swampert could have won CMP with the second Hydro. Foul Play, gets the shield. Sableye farming up, very precise counting from the Swampert, firing off the Hydro on the CMP tie to the Foul Play. Hydro gets the shield. Sableye is going to return fire with another Foul Play. Swampert is going to give up the final shield. Sableye continuing to farm, goes for the Foul Play, but the opponent makes a nice catch, able to catch that Foul Play onto Registeel. The nice thing about seeing Registeel here is that now the Pelipper gets to avoid the Registeel, and it's aligned against the Escav. Escav is going to overfarm and commit the shield, and should be able to farm up to at least 2 drill runs here. Escav continuing to farm, able to farm over 2 drill runs. First one is going to KO, and the second one is going to apply a lot of pressure onto the Swampert, if that's what they decide to bring in, but they do not. They're going to be bringing in their Skarmory instead. Escav fires off the Drill Run. Drill Run is single resisted, but the counters plus the Drill Runs are definitely going to add up in this matchup. Firing off another Drill Run. This is going to get the Skarmory pretty close to the red health. Skarmory is forced to fire off their energy here. That's quite nice. And now it's all up to Pelipper to try and close out this match. Pelipper farming up. Opponent brings in Swampert, and Swampert is going to fire off their energy. They go for the Hydro Cannon. That does some solid damage. Pelipper continuing to farm. Pelipper does not care about this second Hydro. This is not a Shadow Swampert. It's going to be able to tank it and reach the back-to-back Weather Balls. First Weather Ball is going to land on the Swampert, and the second Weather Ball is going to be able to land on the Skarmory. This Weather Ball takes down the Skarmory and secures the win. All in all, some very cool high-level gameplay featuring a pretty spicy pick in Great League Escavalier. It's always awesome to see people succeed with spice picks, but even more so when they're able to climb to leaderboard ELO and succeed with those spicy picks against some of the best battlers in the world. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible, so thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.